Millery Williams reporting there. A multi-million-pound plan backed by ministers to help a Mid-Wales festival expand has been wrecked by a pair of nesting ospreys. The Welsh Government paid more than £4 million buying a farm in Talybont-on-Usk in Powys with a view to helping the Green Man Festival. But now the site is unusable as the birds are protected. More from our political correspondent, Rodri Lewis.
The Green Man Festival at Usk Park has attracted thousands of people to the Brecon Beacons area for years now. But the saga over how ministers tried to help it develop has been anything but harmonious. Back in May 2022, the Welsh Government spent £4.25 million buying Gilestone Farm, a few miles away from the main festival site. The plan was to help the festival expand. Almost a year ago to the day, in January 2023, the Auditor-General for Wales, who monitors how taxpayers' money is spent, said ministers had acted with avoidable haste in buying the farm. Then in May, talks began between the Welsh Government and Green Man bosses about leasing the site. But opposition parties again said that showed there was no clear plan. Whatever plan there had been to use Gilestone Farm has now been wrecked, as a pair of nesting ospreys has been found there. They're protected by law, so a 750-metre restricted zone has to be put in place around them, which means the farm is unusable. The local member of Senedd says the whole saga has been a disgrace and that ministers should have made more checks before buying the farm.
If you go and buy a property, or I go and buy a property, what we actually do is do all our checks. We make sure that everything is above board before we buy it. We buy a property for a purpose. The purpose of that property was to secure a long-term future for the Green Man. They obviously had conversations about what they'd like to do on the site, so you would expect that Welsh Government would have gone through a process to make sure that everything was ticked off and fine before they bought it.
What we have done is we've acquired an asset in Mid-Wales for under market value. We've already been able to maintain an income from it with a farm business tenancy that will carry on for the future. So money hasn't been lost.
This year's festival is still going ahead as planned, but the row over how more than £4 million was spent with nothing to show for it is set to carry on.